PokeProblemsPodcast, episode 279, the Pelliper episode.
Is Pelliper the Pokemon that goes around delivering baby Pokemon to all the Pokemon daycares?
I think so. Well, hello.
Greetings.
I am the Wolf Doctor.
And this is Ms. Silver.
And we'd like to welcome you to the Poke Problems Podcast. The podcast that bobs on the water to rest its wings.
Ooh, I want to be like a Pelliper.
Doesn't sound like a bad life.
Yeah.
Well, Ms. Silver, since our last episode, it's been Pokemon Day.
I know! Happy belated Pokemon Day!
Very belated. Oh no.
We've also had Mario 10 Day since then. Or is it just Mario
I
Day?
think it's just Mario Day.
Yeah. Well, Pokemon Day had a lot of exciting stuff going on. We talked about a little of what was going to happen, but there were surprises that we didn't even know were going to happen.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there were some awesome Pikachus out in Pokemon Go that I did not know were happening, but Miss Silver caught several.
I was surprised. I logged into Pokemon Go around the middle of the day on Pokemon Day just to check things, and there were Pikachu everywhere. I didn't know that this was a secret spotlight 2 hours with all the hatted Pikachu from the Go Tour Unova coming up the next weekend. And the shiny rate was higher. I didn't even know.
I totally missed this, but you got some good shinies.
I did catch a shiny, so I'm grateful for that. But the Pokemon Day announcements were completely amazing. There was a new game announced.
Okay, this surprised me. I didn't know we were getting a new game. A new non-mainline game. It's like it says it's on Switch and mobile, so it's got to be something like Pokemon Unite in that sense, right?
It seems very, just like Unite is all about the battling. There's not a huge storyline to it. It looks like this, it kind of reminds me of, Wolf Doctor, I don't think you've ever played Pokemon Showdown. Have you?
No.
It's an online website that somebody made where you can just put in your Pokemon and you can have them battle other people, so it's all about the battles. But it's fan set up, and this looks like if you took that and combined it with maybe Pokemon Coliseum, it's just all about making your team and battling them. So I'm not sure if you'll get to pick any Pokemon you want or if you have to earn them some way. I really want to know how this is going to work.
Well, this one's called Pokemon Champions.
Ooh.
And the name, not that it's a bad name, but when I heard it, they announced Pokemon Champions, I'm like, is this a championships of some kind? I wasn't sure. So it took me a second to realize this was a game, but as opposed to like a Pokemon Champions League for playing some other game or something. I don't know, but it's a good, the webpage looked cool. We are still scant on details, but
it looks like it'll be great to play. I'm looking forward to trying it because I just love all the different strategery of Pokemon. Strategery is a word, right? No.
Mostly.
Maybe. So it looks like it could be very fun.
Well, they also had some announcements about Pokemon Legends Z to A.
Ah, we have the starters.
What are our choices, Miss Silver?
You can choose the fire pig, Tepig, the grass type, Chikorita, or the water type, Totodile.
I can't lie. It's not the most exciting lineup for me. But I think I would probably pick Totodile because I think he's kind of funny and enthusiastic. What about you, Miss Silver?
I do love Totodile's animations, but as I went with Tepig as my starter for whichever that game, was that Black and White? I'm not even sure.
I know, I feel bad.
But my poor Tepig named Bacon with a K in that game, I might have to have another one.
Another Bacon.
That will grow up into a very tasty Incineroar. Not Incineroar. Now we're
Emboar.
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 There's a lot of ores.
They did not confirm an actual release date, but they said late 2025.
That's like a release date, later in the year, sometime maybe.
Someday.
I'm actually surprised it's not going to be winter of 2026 to mirror the original game.
I think they wanted to get it out for the holiday season.
Ah, all right. And that year had Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl for the holiday season.
Yeah, there we go. Well, Arceus was one of I really loved Pokemon Legends Arceus, so I am looking forward to Zeta A. Even if I'll be happy with Totodile.
It'll make do.
It'll work for me. It'll happen. I wonder if they're going to get Hisuian forms for their final forms. They must be.
Oh. I just hope we get some more throwbacks to the original game, as I love the setting for the original one because it was in the olden days.
Yeah, I thought it was a great game. I thought it was a great game, and I would love, this to capture some of that magic.
We'll see what happens.
So let's talk about Pokemon Go. There are many, many things we have to say about Pokemon Go. There's always something, just going on in Pokemon Go that's not an event, but a new feature here and there. And Miss Silver and I were talking about Pokemon Playgrounds.
Now, according to the internet, these were released a long time ago.
Last year,
but Wolf Doctor, I hadn't noticed them at all until literally last weekend when I saw a strange little icon. It almost looked like a water and land mashup of maps on the lower right-hand corner of the screen when looking at some things nearby. And I was like, what is that on the Pokestop there? I have to get closer and check it out. And it was like, here's a landmark. Try and line up your camera to match up the picture we have to replicate it, which was very difficult because to stand where I think I need to stand, I had to go inside a building, which is physically impossible.
That's not good.
But I got pretty close, I think. And then there was the option to put your Pokemon there on the landmark. And I didn't understand anything other than it's like take a picture with it. But from what I can research, it seems like you might be able to leave Pokemon there for other people to take pictures with.
Yeah, to have group pictures with multiple Pokemon. I have not really taken advantage of this feature, although I had noticed it because there's a symbol that appears when you click on the Pokestop to go spin its disc. There's a symbol in the bottom right, which is kind of an outlines of Pokemon, multiple Pokemon together symbol. So it's a new little symbol you'll see that indicates that the stop or whatever is a playground stop. I have never tried it, but I had noticed it and I knew there was this feature, but I hadn't tried it yet.
It's very curious, and it seems like it could be kind of fun if you can leave Pokemon there for people to take pictures with. You could leave bizarre shinies or costumed Pokemon.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the joint snapshot thing almost. I don't know if anything happens for those Pokemon you leave there. I think they just hang out. I don't think anything bad or good happens. Just fine. They get to be in some people's photos, but
a different Pokemon comes back to you.
I know. I don't think it's like a daycare and you get eggs or anything like that. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, I'm just thinking of the things you could do with this now.
Maybe later. Maybe this will be where you get your eggs from in the future.
Wolf Doctor, this is why you need a job there. That would be cool.
I have good ideas.
If they're in the right egg groups, they're there.
Yeah.
What if you mix different costume Pokemon together? Do they mix their costumes?
Oh my gosh,
like the black
so cool.
and white Kirums all mixing up when you fuse?
Well, that's a feature we need to explore a little more, and maybe we'll do a back to basics on that someday.
Ooh, if we can understand it truly.
Figure it out. But let's talk about upcoming events. There's the Deep Depth events coming up this week, March 19th.
Deep Depths?
To March 24th. Now, it has many random bonuses going on, but one of them, quite importantly, is half hatch distance for eggs.
No, I just put a 10K egg in an incubator.
Your one incubator.
I know, I did use a lot of them recently with all the hatch events.
So one of the things that's a Clauncher is being featured as part of this event, which, I like Clauncher. I think we're getting shiny Clauncher. And then we're getting Nickit the Fox Pokemon.
Nickit? What?
Are you a fan of Nickit, Miss Silver?
I mean, it's a fox cat-like creature. This is exciting. I didn't even know this one was coming out.
And then its evolution will also be available. The evolution is Thievul. It's an evil thieving fox Pokemon. They will not be shiny
No.
yet. They're debuting without being shiny. And there will be a free timed research during this event. Just like, I mean, there's paid things too, but I always like to talk about the free ones. One of the rewards that I noticed is Cubfu candy you can get from this. So if you need to evolve your Cubfu.
I have definitely not evolved my Cubfu. Have you, Wolf Doctor?
I have not.
Ooh, this is the opportunity.
Now, during this event, remember how last time we read off the list of 1 million different raid days and so on? It'll be Mega Absol Raid Day on Sunday, March 23rd.
That's exciting. I do have a Mega Absol, but, you know...
Never hurts.
Mega Absol is a glorious, beautiful, enchanting, majestic Pokemon, so this is a wonderful day. Do we get bonus raid passes?
You do. You do.
Ooh, up to 5 additional ones when you spin the different gyms.
And there will also be a free timed research for this one. I looked at the rewards. It was mostly Stardust, which, hey, no complaints.
I'll take Stardust.
There is also a paid ticket, but I didn't think it sounded too crazy exciting.
You can get even more raid passes, up to 14.
It's a lot.
That's a very large number.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that it looks like they're going to you can have more remote raid passes used.
Yeah.
So that's good. Even if you can't get out for the free ones, you'll be able to use some of your remote ones.
And then the following event is the debut of Sizzlipede.
Wait, what? Sizzlipede, we're getting all these cool new Pokemon now?
It's going to be the Bug Out event, which is an event that's been ongoing for a long time, which is awesome. So March 26th through March 30th, you can get Sizzlipede and evolve it into Centiskorch. There will not be shiny, though.
Wolf Doctor, I know it's obvious, but I didn't realize that Sizzlipede was a bug type.
Whoa, Ms. Silver.
I know, and it literally is a centipede, and okay.
Whoa.
I was just excited by its fire type and it crawling around on the map when you see it in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun-looking Pokemon. I do like it. Don't get me wrong. But it's clearly a bug.
Clearly. It's fine. Some things are confusing.
And there will be free timed research. We don't have as many details for that yet. But the timed research will include a lure module as one of the rewards. I always look and see what's the best reward in this free research. That was my favorite thing. And encounters with event-themed Pokemon, which includes some weird ones like Shedinja and Cleaver. So if you don't have Cleaver yet, doing this free research is a chance to get it without having to do anything crazy.
Yeah. Cleaver first came out in Raid, so this is a great opportunity.
No, it's a great opportunity.
And Shedinja is not very common, so another good one to try and get.
Yes. Speaking of fire-type bugs... No, I'm thinking of Volcarona. This is Volcanion. I was thinking it was Volcarona, which is a fire-type bug. But Volcanion... Dang. Volcanion. That's just fire-type.
Ooh! This is actually one of the very interesting Pokemon because it's fire and water.
Oh.
I remember when this came out because the typing is... I'm not sure, is it the only one that's fire and water? Yeah.
Yes. It's a weird typing. But it's a cool typing. And I think it's a cool looking Pokemon. It's gonna first appear in Pokemon Go Fest.
Wolf Doctor, I've always been confused by Volcanion. What do you think or feel like Volcanion is supposed to represent?
I always think it's actually a mountain, like the pointy part of its back is a mountain, and that's like a decorative arch like some of the other, like Thundurus and Landorus have. That's kind of how I think about it.
Okay.
And the shiny is fascinating because it goes from like a reddish mountain to a bright yellow.
What does this mean? It just gives me more and more questions about Volcanion.
Yes. So, the in-person Go Fests will be happening in Osaka from May 29th to June 1st. Jersey City.
Ooh.
Here in the U.S., June 6th through 8th. Paris, France, June 13th through 15th. And then the Global Go Fest will be June 28th and 29th. Now, Ms. Silver, maybe you'll go to the one in Jersey City. You've been to some of the New York events before.
Yeah, and I had fun going to the New York ones, especially with the extra days that you could tag on before and after whatever day you sign up for. And Jersey City is a very good location. It's very easy to get to New York City. So if you want to make a New York trip out of it, stop by the Nintendo store. It's a great opportunity.
And you can take a ferry between, right? Like, can't you, between Manhattan and Jersey City?
I'm not sure. I've only taken the train, or...
You can definitely take a train.
Yeah, I think it might have been the Path specifically, but...
Yeah, the Path. That's right.
That would be fun to take a ferry as.
I wonder if you can catch Pokemon on a ferry, though. That's the problem.
Do they appear on water?
Usually they don't appear on boats.
No,
That's the problem.
There's a close enough, distance, a small enough gap that, maybe they could appear in the water there.
If there's an underwater tunnel, it might appear because there's the tunnels and stuff to get from... Yeah. So, I think we both need to get on buying our ticket for GoFest. Because if you purchase your global event ticket by April 15th, you get a timed research. And I don't know the dates of the timed research, if it's before, up until...
Yeah, the event starts.
Which gives you an encounter with Skiddo, which is that grass-type goat Pokemon that has previously been exclusive, I believe, to in-person events.
That is pretty cool. And I'm also noticing the picture that we have for this Go Fest. Is that Hawlucha?
Yeah, that's Hawlucha in the background, which has been an exclusive regional.
Oh, that's right, because I was like, I don't remember being able to catch that one.
But Skiddo will be available if you get your ticket early. And then the in-person Go Fest will also have new forms for Zacian and Zamazenta at the in-person events, and I believe probably at the Global Go Fest as well.
I'm pretty excited about this because I remember when I first caught a Zacian or a Zamazenta in the game, I was like, why does it look unusual? And I couldn't pick it out. And it's because they weren't the crown forms where they have either armor on or, the dog has the sword in his mouth.
The actual sword
dog with sword.
Yeah.
And so this will be cool. I wonder if we'll be able to transform any of the ones we have, or you'll just catch new ones that are in this form.
Yeah, don't know for sure, but the form that we have in Pokemon Go now is the Hero of Many Battles form, which is, it looks like they've had a tough time. They've dropped their armor, they've lost their sword. Like they're having a tougher time.
But don't worry, we'll find the sword. We'll find the armor. You will be strong again.
Now, what about this whole thing with Pokemon Go being sold to Scopely?
I don't really know that much about Scopely. I just know from what I've heard from other people is that I think, do they own Monopoly Go?
And I think I've heard of Star Trek Fleet Command also, which is another mobile game. But they're a mobile game publisher, I guess is the right way to call it. But they have many, many mobile games, and many of them are ones that are branded games for, like, they have a WWE game and a Looney Tunes game.
I mean, of course there's a WWE phone game. I just never considered that could be a thing.
Yeah.
Whoa. And a Looney Tunes game?
Yeah, as well as things like, they've got solitaire games and things like that. But they're a pretty big grouping of games.
I didn't realize, I'd heard of Marvel Strike Force as well, that they were in charge of that.
Yeah, we'll see if we hear about any changes that are coming, but who knows?
We'll find out. And because I forgot last week, the horror, there was no Pokestop of the week on the last episode.
I forgot entirely too. I feel terrible.
I'd even picked one out and I forgot to put it down in our notes sheet. But this week, our Pokestop of the week.
Our weeping Pokestop is...
It could be weeping. Is the lucky cat from the mayor of Malden, which he must have found on his trip to play in LA on the Go Tour Unova.
Oh man, the mayor of Malden is one of the leading Pokemon Go players of our area, and his shiny dex. He's almost there. The last thing he needs is a shiny Rotom, which is incredibly rare, apparently.
But he might be having the problem that you might be having now, Wolf Doctor. You've got to get scatterbugs of every single different region in shiny if you really want to truly complete your shiny Pokedex.
Yep.
I do like this lucky cat picture, as it depicts a little lucky cat on almost like a fan, would you say?
Yeah.
Inside of Little Tokyo.
Yeah, it's like a street sign, a cute street sign. Decorative street sign.
Yeah. It looks pretty big, too, based on the photos that they show in the game.
It looks cool. I mean, I'm never going to complain about it like a street art sign of some kind. Mm-hmm. Just makes the place cooler.
I am jealous that he's going to the Safari Zone in Milan next week.
I know. He's really getting out and about on all these Pokemon trips. I bet he's going to end up going to Jersey City, Miss Silver.
Definitely.
Party with the mayor.
But the real question is, can he go to all of the Go Fests like we sometimes dream of? Like, first we go to Osaka, then we go to Jersey, and then we go to France.
Paris, yeah. I mean, they've got a great lineup here.
And it's interesting to see the Pokemon that are featured in the art for some of them, because...
they are different.
Japan's got Drampa.
Ooh. I like Drampa. It's a weird Pokemon, but I like it.
It is definitely very bizarre, but they're so large.
They're a weird Pokemon, but I like them. Oh my gosh, Klefki is featured in the global art. Maybe we're getting Klefki too.
I can't believe that wasn't the first thing I noticed, because Klefki, I remember when going to the New York Go Fest, you have people with signs like looking for trade or want to get this, and one of the most popular signs would be somebody looking for Klefki. I feel like this is one of the rarest Pokemon to get to help fill out your Pokedex. Do you have one, Wolf Doctor?
No, I don't.
No! Oh.
I don't. I haven't been to France since it was introduced.
You could have been trading with someone. I don't know, your French connections.
Yeah. Oh. Well, we've got a lot of playing to look forward to in Pokemon Go.
Yes.
So speaking of Pokemon trips you could be going on, the Pokemon Championships are going to be in Anaheim this year.
Ooh.
Home of Disneyland.
We go from Hawaii to sunny California. These are all great places.
So the championships this year are going to be August 15th through 17th in Anaheim, California. And they have a huge convention there. I'm assuming they're going to have at the convention center, hopefully. Makes sense. Which is not actually very far from Disneyland on top of that. You can sign up now until March 23rd to get on the spectator list, which is essentially a way you can get a ticket to go to the event as not as someone who's not playing but wants to get to go to the matches, which is cool.
And it looks like there's going to be discounts on hotels. So if you're definitely planning on going, you should look into this. That way, save a little money here and there.
Yeah, it'd be cool to go. We always say we'd like to go. We haven't done it yet, but there will certainly be Pokemon Go. Well, there's definitely Pokemon Go championships, but Pokemon Go routes and cool things like that as well.
And one of the neatest things is probably the merchandise that they sell at the championships, and it's only sold there. Like, I will see these later on at resellers, like at New York Comic Con, and like last year with Hawaii, they had beautiful, beautiful setups, especially with all the flowers of Hawaii on the different Pokemon and the beach scene. So I'm excited to see what they do for California with the special merch. They usually have a special Pikachu as well. I do like in the example art, there's a Jigglypuff with a very cute fuchsia bow on.
That is a cute Jigglypuff. I like the art in general for this. It's got a cool logo.
And is that a Machoke in a varsity jacket?
I like that it's a Pikachu convertible.
Oh!
I like that too. They're having a very sunny time.
I have forgotten what the alt form of Tentacruel's name is. Or I should say Tentacool.
Oh, the one that is...
the light pink,
the
palish coral color one. But they have it in roller skates.
It's cool. I think it's cute art.
I would love Pokemon-themed roller skates. That would be a great item. They have skateboards, so I feel like
maybe in the future.
skates are possibility. Who knows?
And you're right. We're going to have a lot of shopping there, the awesome items, but there's still shopping you could be doing now.
Now? Right, Meowth?
Miss Silver, what's the latest Build-A-Bear Pokemon?
Well, Wolf Doctor, we have Wooper as the newest Build-A-Bear.
Let's hear this, Miss Silver. They always have signature sounds of some kind.
Fun sound chips. And you should know that this one comes with some really neat accessories. Are those...
Oh, yeah. It's got little swim goggles and a floaty, which are really cute.
This would just tempt me to put the Wooper in my bathtub, which I know is probably a bad idea.
Should not do that.
Don't do this with your Build-A-Bear at home, kids. But now, what does it actually sound like?
You know, I'm not sure what I imagined Wooper would sound like, but that seems right.
Yeah, I didn't even know what I imagined either, but yeah, I believe it, and it's way funnier than I imagined.
It was pretty funny.
I do really like that. Oh, it's the Wooper tube and goggles set.
Another cool Pokemon product, that's another collab thing, is the Oodies. We've talked about this before because they've had a previous Oodie collection that was a Pokemon collection, and this is really lounge wear. Like you would probably, if you tried to wear this outside, people would be like, "Why are you wearing a giant blanket as a garment?" And you'd be like, "It's comfortable, people."
And I mean, a giant blanket can be closed if, folded and wrapped correctly. These are options.
Yeah, they make oversized but really cool hoodies, I guess is what those are, and that's their signature product. They make robes, they make onesies, but their signature product is a knee-length hoodie. And the hood is big and fluffy too, and usually fleecy lined. They make them in kid sizes, and if you get a kid size one as an adult, it's probably like a normal size hoodie. As an adult, if you buy an adult size one, it will be down to your knees.
I mean, you could definitely wear these out in public. Oh, they even have blankets.
Yeah. They do collabs with other brands like Dr. Seuss and things like that, but they've had a few different Pokemon collaborations, and they have a few different designs that are really cool.
That Ditto blanket. It's looking pretty hot.
I like the Jigglypuff one.
Oh. The patterns on these, I feel they're very bright and friendly. They're so cheerful.
Yes.
They just bring delight.
They're cute. They are cute. If you want Pokemon clothing that's a little more subtle, they're also doing a collaboration with Omocat, which appears to be like, they're casual tees, long sleeve tees, with really cute kind of not quite monochromatic designs, but close, of different type Pokemon. There'll be a central motif on the shirt with a couple of those typed Pokemon, and I like the ice type one, which has a really cool Ninetales on it. It's beautiful. And then the sleeves have little Pokemon illustrations on them of that same type Pokemon, like a Vanillite and things like that, and the ice type one. I like it. The two sleeves are different too. Like the right and the left have different Pokemon on them.
I didn't even notice that.
But these are just more casual t-shirts. Really cute.
They look calming.
Yes. I like the electric one too with the
the Pichu and Pikachu.
Cute.
Yeah.
I think it's cute.
Well, Wolf Doctor, if we just want to get cool stuff from the Pokemon Center online, they of course have new things.
Constantly. You can't go to that website. You're going to see something you want. But it's the year of Eevee this year, and they now have a full range of Eevee keychains, including base Eevee and all of its evolutions.
Wow.
And one of the new features is they have a different keychain clip. This is new to Pokemon. So the clip, it looks like a Pokeball instead of just being a loop clip.
And I do appreciate that they matched up the color of the clip with the Pokemon.
Yes.
So, like, if it's an Espeon, it's sort of a darker pink that goes with it, or the Umbreon has a black keychain loop.
Yeah. The Leafeon has a green one. But it now looks like a Pokeball, so it's an even cooler little bit. The only one that's sold out so far is the Umbreon. I guess that's the most popular evolution.
I'm surprised that Sylveon is still there.
I would have thought Sylveon was one of the tops.
The Vaporeon one does
Looks
look
cool.
rather nice, though.
And that's another very popular evolution, aren't they all? Anyway.
Well, if you just want to try and win things, it's not Pokemon related. But we did mention earlier that it was Mario Day. There are some sweepstakes to try and get you some cool things, or
including
maybe
a trip to Epic Universe in Orlando when that new theme park opens. You can go to Nintendo World there. It'll be awesome. With the new Donkey Kong coaster. So you have to spend platinum points to enter the contest, but these sweepstakes are not super expensive, and you can earn that many platinum points easily in a week. It's a 10-point entry. Pretty standard.
And there's a lot of cool new My Nintendo rewards as well.
What else is available that's awesome?
One of the cool new things for Mario Day is that there's a tote bag, which all the bags I've gotten from the store are pretty cool. And this is one of the really neat things. A Mario Kart 8 Deluxe license holder and lanyard.
Oh, I do kind of like that.
Yeah, so you can, get your nice Mario Kart 8 Deluxe lanyard, and then there's little license where you can fill in your information, like what character you like, what vehicle you like to race in. And there's a line for code. I'm not sure if you're supposed to put your your Nintendo Switch code.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Or something else, but this could be kind of fun. Everyone can, get their codes on the back there so they can be friends with everyone else, race against each other.
Man, they're always coming up with new stuff with these rewards, but I'm definitely entering that sweepstakes.
Yes, Wolf Doctor, you've got to win it.
I know, I really want to go.
Florida or bust.
Well, if you're looking for something a little closer to home, for our Boston listeners, there's a Comic-Con that I have never heard of coming up next month on April 19th.
I've seen ads for this Comic-Con before, but never been able to go. I'm not sure if I can go this year. I might be able to just for an hour in the morning, and I'm debating on it because this year it's a bit different than previous years, and there are actual free tickets to it.
Yeah, I'm shocked that there's just free tickets. It's awesome.
Get people in the door. And this is just a one-day event, and it's over at the Westin in the Seaport District.
So it may not be huge because it's not actually at the convention center over there, but there are free tickets. I just, maybe I should just sign up and go because it's just one day.
Yeah. There's sure to be lots of really cool things for sale in the Artist Alley, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and they say there's going to be some events. They don't have the full calendar up yet, but I mean, if you're in the Boston area, it's, from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on April 19th, and you can just pop over there and go to this awesome event. If you're like, this is awesome, you can stay all 7 hours. If you're like, I'm not sure I'm into it, you can just leave because it's free.
Yeah. So definitely check it out. And another event that's coming up, I thought this was interesting. We know that Pokemon Go is having a collaboration with the baseball teams around the country, and there's a date with the Red Sox here, but there's also going to be a One Piece theme day with the Red Sox.
Wow, that is hilarious.
And apparently this has been done in the past, it sounds like, and I'm very intrigued. It looks like there's a lot of really sweet gear as well.
Yeah, it's going to be actual Red Sox and One Piece
branded.
Yeah, so like the hat has a bee and the Straw Hat logo.
And there's even jerseys as well. Wow, those jerseys look pretty slick.
It's cool. It's cool.
And I recently watched the first season of the One Piece live action, It was pretty good.
I really want to see that. I really should make time for it. It's supposed to be incredible.
I have vague memories of the TV show when it came out and we were watching it, and I feel like it was very faithful. And all the characters and cast were very good.
Well, Ms. Silver, I think we should also include a few minutes here about you telling us about Emerald City Comic Con, which you went to fairly recently.
Wolf Doctor, I did not know what to expect going into it, but I had an amazing time.
Now, is it at a big convention center like San Diego Comic Con or New York City Comic Con?
It's at a very big center. It's actually at the same one that PAX West / Prime is at, which that convention is now split up into 2 separate buildings. There's a newer building that has these gorgeous escalators going up and down with, I don't want to say it's art overhead, but they have mirrors and like garden motifs. And there's little places to sit off to the side of the escalator. So it's a very picturesque, the new convention center. And I was a bit confused the first day because I didn't realize everything was split up between the 2 convention centers, like PAX West.
Oh.
But in what you might think of as the main or the old convention center building, that's where they had badge pickup. But also if you want any celebrity autographs.
Oh.
And more importantly, the main stage was over in that building.
Oh, this is confusing.
Which I did not realize the first day. And I was like, I wonder where these events are in these rooms, because I spent most of my day in the new building.
Oh, no. You were like, where are all the celebrities? Where are they?
And I'm
Isn't
lost.
there a talk going on? Can't I find it? No.
Can't find it.
So, you had 2 meetups.
Oh, no. I had one. But I did attend another one because there was a Pokemon cosplay meetup.
Oh.
And the people running this, they did a great job. A lot of the cosplayers that showed up were gorgeous. I was excited to see Annalisa, one of my favorite characters, and Marnie as well.
Oh, cool.
They all looked pretty good. And the runners of this meetup, they had some cute Pokemon stickers that they were handing out. And also they had little, tiny miniature Pokemon as well. I was surprised to find a Liepard over there.
Oh, yeah.
And quickly snag that one. But myself and Destructive Dave were running a Super Smash Brothers meetup. And we got a lot of amazing cosplayers who were coming in and out. I wish we could have gotten all the people in one big group photo. We did get a couple big photos. But I was very impressed. There was a Captain Falcon there.
Cool. Okay, that's a fun costume.
You never
see a lot of Captain
F-Zero
Falcons.
representation, yeah. And he said that his daughter made his costume.
That's adorable.
I'm like, dude, please give your daughter a high five and thank her, hug her. I don't know how old she is, maybe buy her a car, like a racer. But she did a fabulous job. We had a lot of little Links show up.
Oh, yeah, it's a popular costume for kids, and I love it.
Yeah.
Not gonna say no to that.
And one of my favorite other costumes was there was a mashup of Waluigi and Wario with Sailor Scouts.
Oh, yeah, you sent me that picture.
Yes.
That was just hilarious. Their costumes were great.
And those ladies nailed it. They said they had a lot of fun making the molding for
the nose
and the chin attachments. And all of the cosplay that I saw at the convention was amazing. I didn't realize that this was one of the bigger cosplay contests, because here they had one of the qualifiers for the Cosplay Central Crown Championships.
Oh, got it.
So during the day, they had people going through trying to get qualified for the Saturday night big event, and I wish I could have seen all these costumes close up.
Yeah.
They had different categories. Like, there was one that was just for, things like armor, like the metalworking and the woodworking and stuff like that. And they had a couple other categories as well. And a couple of the costumes I'd seen earlier in the day, wandering about, like the diva Plava Laguna. I'm not sure how you say her name from The Fifth Element. But she was very tall.
Diva. Yeah.
And she was very blue.
Ooh.
And her, I don't know what they are, tentacle things? Whatever she has hanging off her. She was spot on. My favorite who did win their category, but not overall, was they had one of the Skeksis from the Dark Crystal.
Oh.
And I don't, have you seen the Dark Crystal?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's been a long time, but that was an upsetting movie as a child.
It was upsetting. That was one of my favorite movies.
I'm not saying it wasn't good, but it was an intense movie.
But I want to know how long it took her to make that costume just because of the detailing on it. And during their introductions in the finals that they had on stage, by the way, DJ Elliott, who was the one introducing everyone on the main stage for a lot of the events, he did a great job. But they would have an intro a little about the cosplayer, if they had broken a sewing machine or not, maybe broken a hand, as somebody broke their hand in making their costume. But it was great to see. I think you would have enjoyed the Blathers that I saw. A full-body mascot Blathers.
Oh, that's a cute costume.
And she was handing out fossils to anyone I met. So I have a fossil that's a little keychain. It's got the fossil picture on one side, and you flip it over,
and it tells you what
fossil
you found.
got. I'm like, how is that not the coolest idea in the entire universe?
That's really funny. I like that a lot.
I feel like every con I go to, the cosplay has been stepped up over and over and over again. So much.
I know. I feel like my costumes are kind of sad sometimes compared to the ones I see. I'm like, those are great costumes. Mine is not as good as that. Sorry.
I think you would have enjoyed it, the Smash meetup. I wish you were there, because, you know, the Wolf Doctor does have a great Cloud costume, and the giant Buster Sword made out of fiberglass. There were a couple Final Fantasy cosplayers. So
sweet.
that made me happy.
That is cool.
Get all the different, you know,
Impressive.
IPs represented.
Yeah. But I hear you also got to meet a celebrity we both love. Or you went to his talk.
Well, I went to his talk.
Still.
But one of my friends did get to meet him. I don't think you've met him because he's never come to this coast, but my friend Andrew, who used to help run Street Pass Seattle, he managed to get a free ticket to the con.
Good.
Which we went out to dinner on the first day of the con, and he was bummed he didn't have a ticket. It sold out. And the restaurant we went to, the owner of it came over and we were just talking about the con. He's like, "Oh, you don't have a ticket? I have all these random badges." And he literally,
just gave him a badge?
It was like, you know, you go down New York and there's like, "You want some of these badges, kid? I got them all here." And he's like, "Which badge do you want?" And he's like, stunned. And he's like, Saturday? And he's like, "Here." And we're like, we chose the right restaurant to go to eat at.
Dang, yeah. But he got to meet Bruce Campbell.
He waited hours.
Okay.
But he did it, and he got one of his movies autographed on the DVD.
Oh, cool. Oh. So, but you saw him, like, on a main stage talk.
Yeah, he did a great main stage talk.
I bet he's funny in a main stage talk.
Yes. Definitely stole the show, and everything I could have imagined and more. He was very funny, told lots of fun stories about everything. So definitely recommend, if you ever get a chance to go to a panel with him, to go check it out. There was a lot of talk about the blood and how Sam Raimi likes to be the first one to
squeeze the blood on you.
Get blood on an actor for the first time during a shoot. And there was discussions about how they did some of the special effects, like, you know, imagine lying down flat on the ground and basically having a bucket of blood
just dumped on you,
along with a geyser being shot at you. And when they actually show you the scene, it's on its edge, so it looks like he's standing up. But you're just lying there drowning in blood because you're lying down, not standing up, and it's just drowning everywhere.
Now, I consider her a celebrity. You also got to hang out with Kelsey Lewin, who was one of the co-directors of the Video Game History Foundation and is still, you know, very involved in that scene, and owner of Pink Gorilla Games, just, you know, all around awesome Seattle person.
Yes, no, if you could have seen their booth, it was poppin'. Her and another person at her booth said that, "Oh, Sunday probably won't be that bad." And I was
Never
like,
say that.
I'll pop by on Sunday to get, you know, some more copies of her amazing book about Animal Crossing. And it was slammed, as far as I could tell, the entire day there as well.
Oh my gosh.
But they had so many cute plushes and little tiny figurines, as you can imagine. A lot of Pokemon ones, which I always have to look at when I'm there.
And she was there autographing her book, Animal Crossing, which we've mentioned before is about Animal Crossing. It is a very obviously titled book. Let's go with that.
And the copies I bought were actually the last copies at the booth.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
like, what? Last one's there. But it looks like they're doing well. And I totally forgot to ask her about, they're supposed to be opening up a store soon in Vegas. I wonder how that's going.
That's awesome.
I know somebody else I know. I hope it's still there. That I worked with at the Midwest Gaming Classic. He has Make Sense Variety Games in Milwaukee, and I know he opened up a Vegas shop. So it seems like a good place to go for video games.
That's cool.
Might have to stop on by just for that one reason.
That'd be the only reason you're going to Vegas?
Okay, I might want to see some of the shows too.
Now, you mentioned you also did a little D&D?
I am super grateful and excited. I didn't know that Bald Man Games was going to be there. The Bald Man, David Christ, was not there himself. But Bald Man Games does a lot of the organized play for Dungeons & Dragons at a lot of major cons, including now PAX. And they had some of the 50th anniversary adventures, which I missed because I didn't go to Gen Con last summer.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been dying to play these. I want to hopefully get a copy and run them for all you guys.
I'd try it.
But in these special adventures, you play as the characters from the D&D cartoon show.
Oh my, I gave you those
I
DVDs. Because I started watching it and I was like, I don't know if I can watch this. It's so bad.
It's wonderful.
I gave you
Team
those
it
DVDs.
running off
I
a
can't
cliff.
do it.
Can't she fly?
Yeah.
But the way they statted out the characters was great. And
That's
all
awesome.
the items, everyone has their own special item. They were super overpowered. They were ridiculous.
So it was hilarious and fun.
I wonder which character you would like the best. I know you like barbarians.
I could be a barbarian.
So you might like Diana she has like a pole vault type thing in the TV show. But this quarterstaff could return. It could reach out and extend. It could do all sorts of amazing things. And I played my favorite character, Sheila, the rogue, who could just straight up go invisible. Like invisible.
Whoa.
Without, if you attack, it doesn't break it or anything. This is like, for anyone who's played D&D a long time, like 2nd edition Dust to Disappearance, invisible. Like, you don't get that in D&D nowadays, so.
Cool.
And the story was quite fun.
Get a copy. Get a copy,
Yes.
Ms. Silver.
And there's a whole series of like a couple adventures that you can play through with them to experience their story.
That's very cool.
Another thing you would have loved, in the tavern area where the Dungeons and Dragons was happening, there were vendors, but there was also a stage. So there might be performers throughout the day.
Bards. There might be bards.
Bards, random bards. There was Jacques the Whipper.
Oh, that was from that. Okay, you sent me that picture. I assumed it was like one of those little, like you went to a little show somewhere, like they have little rooms, shows going.
Yeah.
But that was actually happening at the
crowd that
my
I
God.
saw for Jacques the Whipper, like people kept coming in and no one was leaving. And the D&D is like off to the side and Jacques the Whipper was in the center of this gigantic room. So more and more people kept flowing in. And in the adventure we were playing, we're supposed to be defending a wall. So having him whip people randomly, it was very realistic and helped add to the atmosphere of the Dungeons and Dragons game.
That sounds hilarious. I didn't realize. Okay, man, D&D and entertainment.
Yes.
That's probably too distracting, though.
I feel bad for some of the dungeon masters because it was quite loud, but I found it kind of fun. I liked it. It was atmospheric.
Yeah. I mean, but so distracting. You're going to want to watch Jack the Whipper instead of actually pay attention to your character sheet.
Our poor judge had always wanted to watch one of his shows, and they were only when he was running, so he was never free to actually go
Just
take the
enjoy
time
it,
to watch. When we did take a break, everyone did go to watch for those 10 minutes.
That's so funny. Now, one more thing you mentioned. You were in Seattle and you went to the round one there?
Yes. So, in addition to going out to eat on the first night, Andrew and I went out to round one because, I mean...
Yeah.
This is the first round one I ever went to.
Is it in Seattle proper?
It's not.
Okay.
You can take some very long bus rides to get there. Or, like he did, you can drive there.
Okay, gotcha.
So we got there much quicker.
Now, the most exciting thing you told me about this is that round one now has their own collection of Pokemon stuffed animals for Is it only for Crane Machine prizes? Can you get them other ways?
So we went to the prize redemption area afterwards.
Oh, that also had Pokemon?
We did not see any of the exclusive
no.
Pokemon. They were only in the
Claws.
claw machines. So bring someone who's good at claw machines with you, like Ricario the Lucario, or I don't know if you're very good at them, Wolf Doctor.
I used to be okay as a kid. I haven't played a lot as a grown-up. So probably not good now.
We have to coach you. I believe
Yeah.
I'm not good at them, but I believe in you.
I bet I could be okay, at the very least decent. I don't think I could be great, but I have done it in the past.
So it's possible.
Wait, did you manage to win any, Miss Silver?
You think I won any? No. But Andrew, on the other hand, he won a whole bunch of them, and he was very kind and did give me a couple. So,
Oh, which one?
he gave me. Oh no, I shouldn't tell her this. She's gonna steal it.
I'm gonna go to your house and take
I
the
know.
Pokemon.
A Gengar
Ooh.
and a Cyndaquil.
Ooh, cute.
But there were a lot of exclusive ones in there.
Yeah. Oh man, that's cool.
And one other thing I feel like I should mention about the con, because I hope they do this again and again and again. There was a formal ball on Friday night.
So like at Anime Boston, a formal ball where people dress up real nice in cosplay real nice.
And this is probably the best dance event I have ever personally seen that was at the convention for the convention that was included with it.
Oh, it was included.
Yep. And
Oh, that's a good deal.
the cosplays I saw there was a lot of people, as you said, in very formal, nice costumes, a lot of Beauty and the Beast costumes. But then there were, some people slumming it like me.
Just wearing their clothes.
Well, I was just dressed up like, a random elf over here.
But this was included with your regular ticket.
Mm-hmm. And the music was great. The DJ was awesome.
What kind of music did they play? Was it just normal dance music?
I would say it's what you'd normally see at like a pop club nowadays. So a lot of pop and dance music, some R&B,
Okay,
hip-hop
yeah.
there.
So they went for crowd-pleasing dance music.
Yeah.
That's good.
Definitely a good time. And there was ample water everywhere. Thank you, Con.
That is very good.
Stay hydrated.
Very important. Well,
But overall, if you ever get a chance, Wolf Doctor,
it was a great con?
it was spectacular. Yeah.
I'd go. Well, Miss Silver, I think that's everything we wanted to talk about this week. So, I think you should tell the listeners where they can find information about
The show?
the show. Yes.
Dramatic pausing. Is that on the blog?
That was dramatic. Yes, it is the blog. But what is the URL for the blog?
Is it PokeProblemsPodcast.blogspot.com?
That is correct. And that is the place to go for all things Poke Problems. Did you know our Spotify seems to actually work, Miss Silver?
Wolf Doctor, really?
Yes. So,
You did that!
yes, I know. I think I think there was some user error on my part getting it set up, but it is now working, as far as I understand. So if you went to the blog right now, you would be able to see a link to the Spotify with our latest episode that you could just click and get it on your Spotify, add it to your. I'm not familiar with Spotify, if it's your feed, your subscriptions, whatever, but you can go to the show from there and set it up so you're getting the podcast regularly, which, a lot of people use Spotify. It also has links to the YouTube Music.
Ooh, YouTube Music.
And the Apple Podcast Store. I don't know the name for all of these things.
Store.
I don't know the name for all of these things. They've been changing, right? There used to be a Google Podcasts or Google Play or whatever. Now that's not really a thing anymore. Now you do YouTube Music, which also is a free thing. So it's not like you have to.
Well, you could just be like me. I'm an iHeartRadio person, and I'm glad it shows up on there.
I should probably try to add a link to the iHeartRadio to our webpage too. It's complicated, people. It's complicated.
It is. There are many ways to listen to audio creations.
Yes, and we do have a Blue Sky now, and I'm still working on how to incorporate that into our page, and I'm learning about it, guys. I'm learning about it. It's a little slow process. I add one of these things at a time, but the page will have a link to that soon. It does have a link to Facebook still.
Ooh.
And it does have a web form where you can email us directly, just typey on the blog page.
Ask the wolf doctor about her favorite Pokemon.
Why do we have to pick? Why do we have to pick and choose?
Top 6 Pokemon.
Okay, yes.
That
yes.
I feel like is reasonable because there are so many Pokemon.
There's so many you have to think about, and so many of them are cool.
Yes.
Well, listeners, thank you for joining us this week on the Poke Problems Podcast.
Thank you for listening.
Dramatic pause.
I'm trying to remember what I'm supposed to say. I need a cue card.
I am the Wolf Doctor.
And this is Ms. Silver.
And we are reminding you to...
Game
on! We have to say something here, Miss Silver.
Game